In my chat, we've had a lot of people ask, when's this next release date for next gen? When do we think it's going to happen? And I think it kind of ties into a lot of the progress that has gone so far. Obviously, we're kind of guessing now until we get that official announcement. Apparently in April, we're supposed to get that announcement to be like, hey, you know, here's the price, here's the discounted price, yada yada.
And here's when it's out.
Right,
Yeah.
and here's potentially what's in it. But so like the date is kind of like a projection, right? So like you kind of have to go based off of like the progress. And I see it being like 3 different scenarios, right? I think the first scenario would be like what, September, August, something like that. And if that's the case, then there's a fairly long runway between now and then. So we have been saying it would make sense for them to do something like a beta. Now, there's been a response from Pedro where he said something like,
it's not going to be a beta.
Yeah, but it was like weird speak, right? Like, and I've gotten the same thing, and I've said this before. I've gotten the same thing with like the custom servers and stuff. But like we ended up being right, and like what he said was still right, but it was kind of like it was in between speak. So I kind of getting a little bit of that from there, but like I don't know, maybe we aren't getting it, or maybe it's going to be a PTB, and then that's technically a beta. So essentially, what we're looking for is, do we get this soon? Or do we get this later, but we have something to play until then, is basically what we're getting at. So, yeah, I see it being like either a September, right? And then we do some sort of beta or PTB, whatever that looks like for us. And or maybe this is going to be a bit sooner, like maybe they drop it in May. Because remember, it's the anniversary's in May, so that would be a good time to drop it. They have been working on this technically, because I think they were surprised by this last year. They've been working on this for at least 6 months, and they have a lot of work done already. Obviously, it's not as easy as copy and paste. There's a lot of work already done, and let's not forget, like, there was also work done on cars, right? I mean, we literally saw the junkyard during the custom server tests, right? And we tried to activate it. RazorTube and I did a bunch of times. And we've already seen...
We were digging deep.
We were digging real deep. So we've already seen, like, car parts and stuff. So, like... Yeah, like floating to the surface. So we know they were working on it, because let's be real, they were still planning on bringing those things in. It might have been extremely rough for those older consoles, but like it definitely was something they already have work done on. So it makes sense that they're going to at least bring those things in. We do know once it does come in, it will be a monthly update according to, I was going to say Razer, according to Pedro. He did say they're going to keep on a monthly schedule after that. I was like, good. So even if we don't get the stuff we want right away, we're still going to, you know, get the good stuff. So stuff like larger pops, bigger maps. So essentially what we're looking for, if this thing's going to cost money, and we pretty much know it does, or it's going to cost something, we're looking for enough features for us to warrant us spending the money, right? And because of that, you know, it's like, okay, so maybe they give us some of these features that they've been working on, cars and minis, whatever, and some other things, and some monuments. And we know they've been doing some visual stuff, and I'll actually click over that here in a second, because I've been walking around here. And, like, it does look like there's been progress in this area. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards, like, based off of what Pedro said, if he's 100% accurate on that, like, we don't have anything to play until it's fully released. Let's just put it under those terms. Yeah, maybe it is in May. Maybe they do drop it in May. And things are looking a little bit better. It's still not at the quality we're used to here on PC, but it's getting close. So here's the thing. It's like, look, the graphics are great. We're looking for performance, right? We're looking for the some key features, some key transportation that we've been lacking. And here's the thing, guys. GTA 6 is coming out at the end of the year, right? So work on the graphics then. If you want to start tweaking stuff and making like whatever, add the rain then. Because guess what? We'll be playing Grand Theft Auto. Take your time. You know what I mean? Work on that then. We need features. We need monuments. It's been half a year. My goodness. So my guess is, here's the other thing too. Like I think it's going to be leaning towards May-ish, because look, the rollouts and the communication have been ramped up for them for Double 11, right? Like they've been trying to drop something every week, and because of that, you typically do that stuff to keep the hype going during a rollout, right? Either way, I think the big linchpin here...
or if they don't have anything at all.
Yeah, or that too. They're
just
trying to buy time.
Yeah, I'm devil's advocate on it.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah, Duckling says the graphic stuff is just clickbait. Well, and here's the thing. Like, RazorTube and I have talked about this a lot. A lot of that, like this right here is better than what we're used to, but it doesn't... Here, dude, I'm going to step outside. You tell me if this looks better, right? And here's the thing. I'm like, look, we don't need to have this stuff necessarily. No. Like I said, add it at the end of the year. Like, give us these big feature sets, right? Yeah, let me put the meat away. Pause. Let me stuff this meat somewhere. Pause. Yeah. I'm going to stuff it in here. All right, let me go outside. So, like, yes, it's an improvement, but it's not like... Here, I'll just walk outside any given day while we're playing. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Sun. Look at this. Right? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Boogie board. We
Yeah.
ride the waves. You know what I mean?
Did you take my boogie board?
No, no. I'm just outside. I'm just pretend make-believing. So, like, this is better than what we're used to, but it's not there yet. But it's an improvement from the original trailer, as we've talked about, right? So, I think they're making pretty good progress. I think they need to do a better job at getting the screenshots, because even this feels a little bit better. Again, they're still missing some more atmosphere. It's getting a little bit better. We're seeing some more of that haze and stuff coming back and forth, but it's still very desaturated. You'll notice here, it's a little punchier, which is nice. Well, actually, as it gets darker, we'll actually see the lighthouse, and that'll be a great comparison. Let me see if I can bring it up a second. So to continue what we're talking about here, like, this looks better. Definitely an improvement from that initial trailer. And you'll see at our nighttime, we definitely have these layers. And it looks a little bit punchier now. So I wish we would kind of knew when these were taken in the progress of the development. But here's the thing. Even with the worst looking trailer at the beginning, I would take that with cars, minis, and some monuments and stuff with a discount. If they continue to update this thing every month, and they do like a big graphical sweep whenever GTA 6 hits, because let's be honest, that'll be the best time to do it. So that's like my perfect scenario for release. But here, okay, so here are some realistic scenarios on top of that, right? Like maybe it does drop in September or August, and there's no beta, and we have to wait an additional X amount of months, right? Like that would be the worst. And in that case, I would say, guys, please do a beta, even though you're not planning on it. Like, we need to play something, right? We've been waiting half a year. It's silly. This game isn't meant to not be updated for that long. Or it's going to be, they release it in August to September, and then we get some kind of beta. And it may not be exactly like PC, but, like, it's going to get us in, like, a better place. And just based off those screenshots that I was showing, I think it's kind of got us in that direction. See, like, right now, see how it's like a blue... I think I have my brightness up well enough. See how it's kind of like, it's rich at nighttime? Like, the colors are more vibrant, even though it's even in the middle of the night. This is getting close. Yes, it looks like there's fog around the lighthouse, but definitely some more volumetric stuff happening here that we do not have in the old version, for sure. But you can see right here, like, look, I feel like this is probably the most further along of all of the screenshots we have up to this point. I feel like the trailer's at its worst point. Some of the screenshots and the comparisons were okay. A lot of them after that felt kind of flat. It's better, but you already know it's not as good as the PC. I feel like the water still is missing a lot of layers. But again, if we have a lot of playable stuff, this can come in later. I feel like this is getting closer. And even though this is dark, I feel like this is probably the furthest along because you have a lot more depth. And again, you can see that comparison on the left-hand side because we're in the middle of the nighttime. So I think it's coming along enough where I am starting to think that maybe they do just drop this thing in May, right? I mean, yes, we have those two other scenarios where the runway is a lot longer, we're waiting in darkness, or we've got, you know, we get like a beta or a PTB or something playable between now and August or September. I guess there's like a fourth option where, what if they did drop it on GTA 6? Are they even aware of it? I should ask Pedro, should I be like, are you guys aware that GTA 6 is coming out at the end of the year? Like, you should just look up the loosey-goosey numbers on that. I promise you it should scare anybody who's planning to drop something at that time. Doesn't mean this game's going anywhere. I should say I have all the confidence in the world that they'll be able to add these layers and stuff into it, but you know, take that time while we're kind of away at playing a different game to like really add that new stuff. Because then when we come back, we're like, oh man, it looks great, you know?
Yeah,
oh, they
have optimal... Yeah, I saw it. They're going to have a lot of time on their hands once GTA 6 comes out, because a lot of people are going to, you know, go away from this game for a little while.
All
games.
Know,
you'll see the you'll see pop on this game drop probably significantly, because tons of people are going to be doing GTA 6 the whole time, and they just need to be creative and make use of their time, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, hopefully seeing some of the progress here, even from the trailer to some of these newer pieces here, like to this, and then to the lighthouse, you can start to see like, oh, it's coming along. And honestly, like I said, if it looks like this, that's good enough if we have the features and it's a decent enough discount for the people that already own the game, then I'd say go ahead, pull the trigger for May. But really, the April announcement is really going to fill in a lot of the gaps here, because then we're going to know most likely when the release date is, or roughly when it's going to occur, and then what's going to be in the version that we do get, and the discount. I doubt they're going to give it to us for free. Obviously, we would take that, but that's kind of what we're looking at. So fingers crossed that we see this freaking update. And oh, the thunder! It sounds so good. Oh, the rain's coming through the slats here on the top. Man, this game's beautiful, huh? So yeah, hopefully we see all this stuff, and that April update really gives us that missing piece that we're looking for. So I'm kind of setting my expectations for the worst case scenario right now. So I'm, happy when they announce something different, or at least I'll be prepared when they announce probably the inevitable, which means a long wait. So hopefully they see this and go, yeah, maybe we should make the announcement. And be like, well, yes, well, duh, of course, please.